Well, let's go back now to our main story, the gathering of BRICS countries for their annual summit hosted by Chinese President Xi Jinping. And let's talk to Isabel Hilton, who's the founder and senior advisor of China Dialogue. Welcome back to the programme, Isabel. So this has been a somewhat challenging BRICS gathering, given Russia's war in Ukraine and fears of a global recession.
Yes, and I think that very much hung over the gathering. I think probably the main achievement was to have the summit at all, and to keep talking and to keep stressing that this is an important group of countries. They represent a lot of the global population and global GDP. Xi Jinping, I think, laid out pretty clearly what China hopes from BRICS, the importance of avoiding a recession, more coordination in multilateral bodies. He talked quite a lot about a security dimension that he wants to introduce, the Global Security Initiative, which he described as creating a new path to security. And clearly, China would like to work with BRICS members to operationalize this. But, given what's actually going on in the world, it's pretty challenging. There are very fine sentiments expressed at these meetings, but quite where they map onto current realities is still really not clear.
Well, as you say, fine sentiments and plenty of discussion, but what has actually been achieved at this summit?
Well, to be honest, I mean, if you compare the closing statement with the closing statement from the previous summit, there isn't very much that's new and different. Some perhaps clearly things have happened, and there are references to the fallout from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But actually, in terms of mapping out a positive way forward, or even marking achievements in the past year, perhaps it's not so surprising that there really isn't a lot on the clock. Some slightly disappointing things. Climate change has been a bit of a feature for Xi Jinping. He's made some, big moves on climate change. And BRICS, after all, China's the world's biggest emitter. Bolsonaro's Brazil has accelerated deforestation in the Amazon. Russia's a petrostate and a big emitter. So there was room there to, make a commitment, for example, to make Sharm el-Sheikh COP27 a success. But not a lot of mention there. So there are urgent questions. No doubt they were discussed. But I think if we're judging by the closing communique, not any great leap forward here.
So there has been some talk of expansion, hasn't there? Where does BRICS go from here?
Well, yes, expansion is, again, very much on Xi Jinping's list, it would appear. And he did inaugurate BRICS Plus some years back, which is a sort of expansion without expanding the membership. So what that allows other interested countries and perhaps more loosely allied countries to attend meetings as sort of guests of the BRICS process without actually becoming members. And the difficulty of becoming members is that we don't really have a clear set of rules and protocols at present for membership. So again, in the closing statement, there is reference to developing those rules and protocols, but clearly that's going to be a little while yet before you see any progress on expansion.
Isabel Hilton, great to get your thoughts today. Thanks very much for joining us as always.
Thank you.